Go.
Okay. Are you asking the question, Tosin?
Okay, Ade, how has your 12-week year been?
It's been really good actually. We've just come to the end of the 12 week, well, week 13. And I remember starting this with Tosin. I think I started I wanted to do something just to keep accountability and be accountable to myself and also do it with someone. And I think it was really good at Tosin. You were able to sort of show interest and then you introduced this 12-week year concept. I would say, because it's my first time doing it, I would say it took a while for me to get into it. But knowing that you've got a set of goals that you also need to achieve in a week, it also forced me to try and achieve some goals. I'm not going to say I've been able to achieve everything perfectly, but if I hadn't done this process, only God knows whether I would have even achieved any of the things that we've achieved in the 12 weeks. So for me, I would say that the 12-week year forces you to achieve your goals in a very short space of time. And I think one of the good things that you were able to recommend for me was the book, because so I bought the audiobook and it just teaches me that my 12 week is like my year. So everybody wants to do everything towards the end of the year, but actually knowing that I have 12 weeks to achieve this goal, it really forced me to do it. I won't lie, there were times I felt pressured, like, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday. I haven't done any of the things I need to do, quickly do this, do that. But yeah, so far it's been really good. And it's kept me on the straight and narrow, if I can use that word.
What's one thing you can take away that you can say to anyone who's thinking about doing this?
Um, I would say even small achievements are achievements. Sometimes we beat ourselves up about not achieving everything that we want to achieve. But through this process, I think just being able to achieve one or two things of the five things I've set forward has been a massive boost to my confidence. So just make a start is what I would say. Yeah.
And what were the sections that you worked on?
So the sections was what in terms of my goals,
Yeah, so your
my
the
key goals.
areas that you worked.
Yeah, so I've got the screen here. So for me, when I started, it was around improving my health and well-being. So that was the main goal.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
the
have
main
like
goal.
sorry?
No, I just wanted you to share the main goals. So yeah.
Yeah, so it was improving my health and well-being. That's like the title. And then there's like a subcategory, which is about using the gym or exercising 3 times a week. And then I've been having gum disease since I gave birth. You would think I just gave birth. I mean, Joy is 5 now, but I had really bad gum disease that I've needed treatment for. So things like brushing your teeth 5 times or every night might look so simple to someone, but I had to pull it as a goal. So it's not always the big things, it's even the small things that you want to get really good at doing. So I put things around doing that 5 times a week, making sure I drink at least 1 liter of water, having more healthy snacks in my diet. And then as the week went on, if I felt like I've mastered a goal, I would take it off. And if I felt like I really wanted to push myself, I would add another goal to it. So I had things around improving my health and well-being. And then I had another thing about publishing like a journal that I've been working on. And then towards the last part, I added developing and building my faith. Again, someone else might look at this and think, oh, these are things we should do already. They're my goals. And that's what this is about. It's about your goals, and you're not in competition with anyone else apart from yourself.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Ade.
Okay. But just saying, it would be good to hear about your experience because I feel like you're a guru at this. So it would be good to
Okay.
hear a bit about you as well and your
Okay,
goals.
so this came about when Ade shared a accountability video that she saw on TikTok or Instagram where the husband was paying his wife to be accountable with him. And
Yeah.
then I needed someone to be accountable with me because I had started doing the 12-week year alone. And part of the 12-week year, you have a weekly accountability group where you kind of score so one of the beautiful things is that you write your goals and then you have to score it at the end of the week out of 100%. And if you get 80% or more, you're more likely to achieve your goal than if you don't have the less. So my goals were about my health so that I wasn't relapsing from a health condition I had. And the next one was about finances. And later on, I added faith because I realized that I wasn't depending on my health actions, but I needed to depend on God and build my intimacy with God. So I added 15 minutes Bible study, 15-minute worship, 15-minute prayer, and just made it quite simple so I didn't overdo it. I've
Yeah.
had good weeks where I've scored 100%. I've had poor weeks when I've scored 24, 42%. So it's just various, but you take each week as it comes and you score it. So the goal of this book is to, instead of having January to December goals, you just have 12-week short goals, very not more than 2 or 3, so that you can focus on them and don't give it your best performance. So that's my journey. Do you want to ask any other questions, Ade?
I mean, for you, I guess it'd be good to know what you struggled with in this process and how did you overcome that struggle or challenge?
I think I struggled with my mood, which is part of bipolar, where my mood could be high and low. So there could be weeks where my mood is low and then my achievement is low based on my mood. And there are
Mm,
weeks when my mood has picked up and I'm able to achieve really good goals. So
yeah,
it's more like the underlying mood affecting performance than
yeah.
anything else.
Okay. So it sounds like being on this goal, I mean, in this process, also reminded you of the things you need to do when you're struggling.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. It would be good to end on our review, Tosin, because I thought that was really positive. Just hearing you share your review, vice versa. Should we do that?
Okay. All right. Let me hold on. Let's see if we can get that. Uh well, okay. So this review happened after 12 weeks. And this let's just focus on this part of it where hold on a second. Let me just check something. We're still recording. Yeah, that's fine. We're still recording. So what went well? I had a growing and enthusiastic accountability partner, Ade. None of this would have worked if I didn't have someone with me working with it.
Ah,
So I had Ade. Thank you, Ade, for going on this journey with
the
me.
pleasure is mine, Tosin.
And the other thing that I was able to achieve was I was able to achieve scoring and carrying out the whole process for the whole 12 weeks. I had tough weeks, but still I continued. I listened to the audiobook while doing 12 weeks, which helped me to reinforce the principles. I
Yeah.
had 2 weeks of 100% and a few 90s and a few above that. I removed drink 2 liters of water as it became an easy habit for me. So I'd mastered that habit, so I didn't need to score it or keep it in there.
Okay.
I added faith pillar, which improved my intimacy with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. What didn't go well? The week I took off olanzapine without the doctor's advice was a terrible week and it affected my results. So I took off one of my medications because I was getting drowsy and waking up late, and I didn't get any advice from my doctor, and that really affected me. Action. So what actions am I taking forward? So I'm going to collect meds on Monday so that
Hmm.
it doesn't affect my rhythm. So that's also about my health. I'm going to
Yeah.
book a holiday with my daughter so that we can go somewhere and do something fun. Focus on losing weight now, eating less, portion control, and do fat burning gym work with Kevin. So those are in terms of my next 12-week years, those are what I'm focusing on.
Okay,
So thank you so much.
that's excellent. Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the next chapter, Tosin, to
Yes, the
us
next
really
chapter.
smashing
So
this.
please come and join us for the next 12 weeks and
Yeah.
come and be part of the journey.
And I have to say, doing this with you, Tosin, has made it all the more easier because obviously some people can do this by themselves, but being able to do it with someone makes a lot of difference. So if there's anyone that is thinking about joining us, we would love to have a third or fourth person joining, but it's something we want to really take serious. So think about it. You're welcome, and honestly, you will not leave empty-handed. I don't know how else to say it. You will be able to achieve some of the goals you've put forward. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Adeoye.
Yeah.